Blog Talk Radio.
All right. All right. All praises. It's been a minute. Let's give it up to our Father. All praises to our Elohim. The Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All praises to Yahweh Shai and our earthly mother and our heavenly mother, the Holy Spirit, the great comforter. All praises and great respect to our nation, our fledgling nation that is now waking up, standing up, a great and exceeding army. You have to excuse me, family. I have come back into the States. I'm going to tell you about it, but I came back into the States, and on the way back in, the day before, I got deathly sick, and I had been struggling. And turns out the wife and I had COVID. So I'm on the mends. I'm on the uptick now. But I tell you, it was tough going for a minute. The Father had me down to show me some things, and it was interesting. But He allowed me to make it through to today, at least, and I give Him all praises. We went to Germany, Hamburg, nice little quaint harbor town, and we enjoyed that. It was nice. What I will say about Europe, and in particular Germany, is that it is a melting pot. It is everything the United States wishes it was, but is not. It is so Germany, what they do is they portray themselves as the all-white Germany, but their whole civilization is diverse as I don't know what. I mean, I saw every type of nation. Every nation was represented there except for Ish. And, Ish maybe have been there, but I didn't see, from what my understanding of Ish would have been or is, what they look like. I didn't see them. I saw Syrian brothers, and matter of fact, had some Pilsners in the rain with some Syrian brothers. Saw some Nigerians, Germans, of course. Saw some Turkish, of course, Italians, English, Dutch. I saw American, of course. I saw some Brazilians. I saw a hodgepodge, and everybody can speak English, and everybody is intelligent. Nobody's sitting out here being a vagabond, like America wants to portray the rest of the world. Everybody was tight. Everybody was right. They spoke with respect. And it was interesting because, like I was saying, the Germans portray themselves via the media as this all-white Aryan group, but their whole civilization is extremely diverse, extremely melting pot. Where it's the contrary to the United States, where they want to portray themselves as this diverse group, but everybody is hateful, spiteful, and whiteful, okay? But it was just something that I saw, and I wanted to say that because it's interesting how the rest of the world has stepped up their game in terms of communication and respect to each other, and America is still struggling with Kamalas and Trumps, I want to give a shout out to Brother Judah and Sister Pat because they've been putting in this work, and even when I was over there, I was ahead, so I was getting things. I was waiting on things, And when they came, it was kind of late. So I when I got home and my time when I couldn't do nothing but sleep, take medicine, and hydrate, I got caught up with a lot of what they were saying, and it's a hell of a thing that we're in this exchange situation. Hey, 83, this X, after this X that you guys felt like wasn't nothing, look at you. Look at you. Now look at you. And it's funny because before I left, I was talking about, there's our people, there's some of our people, those that look like us with a black face, with a white mind. These people are Boule enthusiasts. These people are Afrikaan enthusiasts. And I'm not sitting here saying anything about people and how they believe and what they believe. It doesn't really matter to me. The reality is archaeology. This is what we have to deal with, the archaeology. And by no stretch of the imagination is the archaeology in the 3 parts older than the archaeology here in the 4th part. By no stretch of the imagination is the Olduvai Gorge in Ethiopia, where they found the Australopithecine rhombus and claim that to be the oldest skull in the world, the oldest skull in the world. It's not. It is actually here in Mexico, which is the oldest skull, Lucy, in the world. So, I mean, people can always, they're gonna buy into the, into Egypt again by ships, but their whole mindset is that they can only believe and think one way, which is fine. It's okay to think that way because that's the way you think. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't mean that it's right. Okay, it doesn't mean that that's the only way, and it doesn't mean that let me rephrase that. It means that you are giving more credence to the European than you should, because these people pre the 1400s were dumber than a doornail. All they could do is destroy. But yet you're giving them the credence to be able to say, hey, they came into this continent, this massive continent, Africa, stole all these people, put them on these ships that they built, I don't know how, and then shipped them directly across the Atlantic, the most treacherous body of water on the planet due to the currents. And without any problems, yeah, they lost a few, but you know what? They made it majority of the way, and they got these people over in from Africa directly to the Americas, 12 million strong. We've been 12 million strong ever since. What? I mean, if you just listen to the logic, and I know people say, well, the book says this, but transliteration is a hell of a drug. We have to take the information and utilize it with a common sense approach to reason a matter out. Yes, by ships we came here, but that doesn't mean that we couldn't come by ships from South America to Central America to North America. The people had to stay, the Europeans in their navigation had to stay close to land in order to survive. So yes, they stopped as they saw people on the shores. They stopped. They took some people from Ghana to Brazil to Central America to Florida, to the Caribbean to North America. But for the most part, we were already here. I don't know why that's so difficult. I don't know why the Negro is so fast to give up its homeland, to give it up just for shits and giggles to whoever. Oh, it just was here. It was just here. It's just blank. It's a blank canvas. Anybody can have it. It's up for grabs. Hell no. This is my land. If you don't want it, fine. If you want to be from Africa, fine. That's not a problem. Go be from Africa. Be African. Go back to Africa. But don't try to thwart your insensibilities of reason and rationalities and histories and archaeologies and anthropologies away from us. We're not thinking the way you think. And it's okay. It is. Just like we say to the Gentiles and the heathens, it's okay. Maybe one day you'll get it. And it's for us to sit here and fight for it. If you don't want it, we want it. We'll take it and we'll keep it. Matter of fact, why don't you just take yourselves on back to Ghana, on back to Nigeria. They go, oh, well, it's Negro land. Surely it was Negro land. The Judeans, the Southern Kingdom. Oh no, everything is in the whole 12 tribes is in Africa. Well, that doesn't even that's not you stick to the Bible when it comes to enter Egypt again by ships, but then you want to throw out Esdras when he's telling you that the Northern Kingdom went into a land no man knew. So I mean, what is it? What is it with you people? What is it with you people? It either is or it is not. Listen. We understand the truth, the fullness of the truth, the fullness of the gospel. And why? Because matter of fact, over the last 10 years, we've been manifesting standing of wisdom to gain the knowledge of who we are. And all of a sudden, here comes some people, some Africans or some Americans, some Negroes who just woke up. Within the last, maybe 4 years, 3 years, 4 years since COVID, they've done some due diligence. We were in the thick of it pre-COVID, pre-2019, and people are out here. Our people are out here trying to act like, oh well, I picked up books. You need to study. You don't know what you're talking. Listen, it's fine. It really is. It's fine. If you think you know everything, what have you manifested in your own life? Meaning, what fruits have you brought to your life? I mean, really, what fruits have you brought to your life? Because we have fought hard, long. We have sought here and there. We have grown exponentially as individuals and as a collective here to be able to come strong and let you know, hey, we are American indigenous beings. That much, we know that much is true. This isn't about me and you. This is about the totality of our people. If you want to be from Africa, be from Africa. If you say you're the Judeans from the Southern Kingdom, fine, but you have to accept your brethren from the Northern Kingdom. And if you want to proclaim that the Northern Kingdom is out of Africa, well, then you have to prove that without a shadow of a doubt. And I don't mean by white man, Jewish man's DNA madness. We don't care about that. You need to prove to us, because their science is filthy. It is mired with filthy lies. And if you don't know this, if you don't know that, if you're not going to accept anything they say, accept all of their Bible, and then accept all their science, then you are a black face with a white mind. This is not hard. This is not difficult. We have surpassed all of this madness of out of Africa. Listen, I love my people from Africa because we do have Judean brothers still over there in Africa. We do. I'm not mad at Africa, but that ain't my homeland. And everybody want to be Judah. Okay, shoot, you Judah, prove it. Why can't you just be Israel, the whole house thereof? Because you damn sure don't know that you're Judean. What we do know is the southern kingdom was over in Africa. And we know that the northern kingdom was in the Americas. And that we had to be in Jacob's trouble together at the end, the last 400 years. So what about that prophecy? What about that prophecy? That don't matter? That prophecy, oh, don't worry about that. We all African. No, see, this is what I'm saying. Some of our brethren and sisters want to pick and choose the scripts. We're not picking and choosing anything. We're just interpreting them and extrapolating our interpretation based on our own due diligence. Because we're grown-ass men and grown-ass women to do so. We do not have time to be entertained by the foolishness of heathen, Gentile, black-face with a white mind people. That's stupid. We've grown too far, too fast, too large, too big for that. And we're not going back. Why would we? Are you crazy? Look at us. We're beautiful people. We are the people of the book. I'm not against you. Don't be against me. I'm not your adversary. Don't be against me. If you don't believe on it and don't accept it, move on. Eat the meat, spit out the bones, in your opinion, in your interpretation, in your manifestation, and move on. Don't be a boule. Don't be upset. Don't try to come against. Don't hate. Oh, we all need to get together. Well, how are we going to get together if you're hating the fact that we're saying we are the northern kingdom? You're the ones that are hating, not us. We're open-armed. We're open-booked. We're the people who are bringing the world to its knees. We are the lost tribes of the house thereof, whole house thereof, Israel. We're not just Judah. That sounds like a Jewish person. Oh, I'm Jewish. Well, what tribe are you from? Oh, I'm Jewish. Oh, I'm Levi. That's where we from. Really? So they want to be Levi. The Negroes want to be Judah. Nobody else wants to be Ephraim? Really? Really, though? Really? Really? That's why it's ridiculous listening to some brethren and some sisters. It's ridiculous. But I ranted on that. I've ranted on that because, that's just something it just keeps coming up. And in this day after the exchange situation, where we already know that a supernatural event is happening, that our people do not want to accept the whole house. It's like you don't want to accept your brother, your sister. You don't want to accept them? What you too good? This land ain't good enough for you? That was my ranting and a raving. And a raving and a ranting. And it won't be the last time either. Because I know that it's getting people gonna be mad. People just gonna be mad. Oh well, I just need to understand. Well, just read. Read, brothers and sisters, read. Because we're not your enemy. We're not your enemy. We're not your enemy. And then we got this Kamala madness. We all knew that we all knew Biden was an old fool. And we knew that the demons were hot on his trail to take him out. We knew this. We knew this when Obama stepped down and he left Biden to come in and be a clown. We knew this. Okay? And then we also knew that Trump was the last trump of the Gentiles. This is why they fight tooth and nail, because they know he is the last trump. He is their last hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi, last hope. You are our last hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. But we, as Israel, the people of the book, the whole house thereof, we're not concerned with any of that, because we already knew that. The stars had already told that. Kamala, this woman who is East African or East Indian, does not have any root within the house thereof of Israel, is claiming, propaganding to be us, to be down. We've already kicked her out of our house. Matter of fact, she was never in our house. She was never welcome in the first place. Who welcomed her was the Boule. The Boule welcomed her. The black face with the white minds welcomed her. Don't get it twisted. This woman is now pandering to our black women, our Boule sisters in AKA format, Delta format, Greek mindedness, trying to tell us that we need to accept her. We don't. This ain't Goldilocks and the Three Bears. No, sir. No, ma'am. To hell with these people. Let it burn. Let it burn. And Biden, let them burn. This has nothing, none of this anymore has anything to do with us. They have now brought it to the forefront where they want to be us, just like Brother Jesus has been saying. They want to be us so bad, so stinking bad, that now because we said we don't want nothing to do with you, now they want something to do with us. Never forget, back in the day, we were like, come on, why can't we all get along? Can't we all get along? They're like, no. Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, they looking to get along with us. But at our cost. At our cost. Because we ain't gaining. There's no gain for us in any of that they're talking about. That's why if you vote, you're a fool. Because this is a pivotal decision where everyone has to make. Everyone, it's like Gangstar. Everyone will meet their moment of truth. This is the moment of truth that's coming up. Who you vote for will determine what you do with your action of your mind and your hands in this pivotal time of exchange of situation will determine your outcome going forward. People say, well, we got to do something about Trump. Trump's ass has already been a president for 4 years, and that cracker ain't done nothing to me. Biden, on the other hand, is the one who's increased everything, who made alphabet soup, untasty to me. He's the one who has created all these things against me and his boy Kamala. So at the end of the day, neither of them are worth a cuss. Neither of them. But don't come trying to act like she's better than him when they both ain't worth a shit. They both ain't worth a shit. And they think that we got to care? Why should we care? When have they cared? Why have they ever cared for us? They've never cared for us. We've cared for ourselves. We're the latchkey kids. We're the ones that had to pull ourselves up. We're the ones that had to straighten ourselves. We're the ones that had to dig deep and suck it up. These people ain't done nothing. And yeah, now of course they want us. They looking at us now. Why looking at us? So why are they looking at us? Because they scared. When they don't have to be, They could clearly come over here to you and me and say, well, what's going on? How can we do this? What can we do? So listen, this is where we are. We're the people of the book. We're not dealing with anything that these heathens are saying. We're doing it by way of the Spirit. We've been studying now for over 10, 15, 20 years, some longer than that. We're into various books, various knowledge, various symbols. We understand a lot of things. We're not scared over here of the supernatural. We're not looking at anybody's face to be our God. That's not who we're doing. We're not dealing in idolatry over here. We're dealing in history, science. We're dealing in metaphysics over here. Oh, that sounds like the occult. Oh, that's devil. That's why you're over there. That's why you're scared today. That's why your fruits are not being strengthened today. That's why I said, look at your own fruits. You got to test. You got to look at yourself. This is the time for self-reflection. Matter of fact, this has been the time for self-reflection, right? Self-conviction. That's right. That's right. Self-conviction and self-correction. Because if you have not been doing that, I mean, Phil Florence, get to the back. Bye. That's like Pat. If you ain't been dealing with your own shadows, I mean, what the hell is that you doing? What is you doing? What is it that you are doing? And now our passion and our zeal is strong. Our passion and our zeal is strong. We are the dry bones. We're standing up now. We're telling you. And it's funny that we're saying these things and no one wants to believe it. You ain't studied. You don't know nothing. You need to research. You need to do some research. I'm like, what? What do you mean I need to do so? Okay, well, why don't you tell me what research I need to do? Oh, well, you need to study and see what Kamala. I don't need to study Kamala. I don't need to study Trump. This is the madness of a black face with a white mind heathen. It's just as simple, a reprobate, a base individual. This is why many of us. This is why 2/3 of the entire Earth's population has to go. See, and this is the other thing. You know, a lot of people, not a lot. Let's just not make it any type of numerical overture or anything. Let's just say this. Some people think that the Creator wants everyone to make it. I can understand why you would say, I can understand that, but yet at the same time, I'm not a proponent of that. What I believe in this big scheme of things, when it comes to prophecy and when it comes to how, the end, the eschatology, how it looks, what the end would be, is that karma has to bring balance. Justice must be given, because it would make the Creator, the highest prime Creator, Most High, it would make him, she, it unjust. It would make him unjust. And why I say that is because if things being true based on what we have learned, what we know, how we view things, what we see, what's happening today, Why would there be a need for Israel, for true Israel? Why would there be a need for scriptures? Why would there be a need for prophecy if there's no justice? Why would there be a need for a law? Why would there be a need for that? If the Creator just wanted everybody to, he doesn't want, the lower principalities are destroying, they got everybody on idolatry and they just destroying people. Why would he need justice? Why would his people need justice? Why would there even be a question or need of his people? Why would there be his people? Why would there be a need for people? My logic is that it's a purge from the very get-go. He was like, well, I'm created these people. I created these beings. Everything's going to be how it's going to be. I already know how it's going to end. So I'm going to let this all play out because I want the top of the line being when this is all said and done. It's just like he always, the scriptures are always talking about going through the fire, going through the furnace, purging, coming out pure as gold. It's always just this refinement, this constant refinement. That's what I see. Everything is used for the refinement. The furnace is this entirety universe. The universe is the entirety. When mankind is done away with and humanity is able to be what it was intended to be, then the purge is over. It's done. We become the new men, the new women, the new being. That's what we're after. We're not after escaping. That's a Gentile mindset, heathen mindset. I'm trying to escape. No, I'm not. It's not about us even having to fight these people. It has nothing to do with us. They're gonna fight themselves. They're gonna self-reflect. They're gonna self-convict. They're gonna self-correct or not, and they're gonna be put down. They'll dust they were. Dust they will go back to. Because the Father, the Creator, the prime Most High, because, it's funny we're getting into these semantics of our Father. When I talk about the Creator, I want no mistakes about it. I'm talking about the highest. I'm talking about the Ancient of Days. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any white Jesus, any black Jesus, any Jesus at all. I'm talking about the entity that spurned this whole thing. I was listening to the audio of Philip and Thomas today. And, the NAG gives you a lot of information on what's going on. It's worth the read. It's worth to listen to, the Nag Hammadi. What it does is it opens your mind. It gives you a different frequency, a different level of understanding to be able to open, so you won't be just like, oh, well, we all came from Africa. Let you open your mind. No, I just want the 80 books. No, I don't even want that. I want the 66. Well, okay. The more you try to trap the prime Creator, the Father, in a box, the less you gain. The less you gain, and the more rotten your fruits become, because then you want to control the box. Therefore, if you control the box, you control the God. Just like the heathens, if you control the books, you control the God, you control the people. See? It's all about control, where I'm saying to everybody, hey, this is your free will. You are free to believe and think and act and eat and drink and breathe however way you want to. Who in the hell am I to tell you any different. But don't come knocking at my door trying to tell me something if you're not willing to listen to me. If you're unwilling, then why should I be willing? See, that's the karma, right? That's doing unto you as you doing unto me. This is why it's so difficult for so many people, because when it comes back to them, they got problems. But they ain't got no problems doling it out, dishing it out. That's why this spiritualism is a deep, it is a living thing, the spiritualism. It is a constant living on the edge thought process daily. It is. It just is. It's living, breathing, eating spirituality. And a lot of people can't do that. They want to have their cake and they want to eat it too. No, spirituality doesn't allow you to just eat it up and then defecate it out and keep it moving. No, you can't eat on this like you would a pie, a cake, a steak. You just can't do that. You would choke yourself and choke yourself out. That's why this whole concept of understanding and living a spiritual life, it comes with heartache, change. You've got to. It comes with passion, zeal. You have to be going through something. And a lot of people, well, I go through stuff. My life ain't blah 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 blah. Well, okay, fair enough. Maybe so, but what have you learned? That's why I said, look at your fruits. What has your fruits done? What fruits are you giving off? How are your churn? How is your interactions day to day? How are your bills? How are your debts, I should say? How is your psychology, your psycheology? How do you learn? How do you live? How do you deal? How do you cope? These are the things that has to be looked at in order to be able to manifest and live in the spirituality of the reality of the exchange of situation. This is what's going on now. This is why we're seeing all these people trying to come against us, trying to tell us what we should do, tell us how to think, tell us what to look like, and we're not having any of that. We're not having any of that, because our spirit is sound. Our spirit is ground. This is just the way it is. And, I mix up my pronouns. I start saying us, me, I, we, them, they. But you're going to have to stick with me. You're going to have to stay in tune to understand, because everything is coded and everything has to be this way. At least for today. Oh, do I wish for the time where we can just speak openly and candidly about the realities of our spirituality. But we can't right now. And if you don't know who they are, and if you are they, and if you are them, then let that be your lesson, not mine. These things is, real talk. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of ignorance. I'm sick and tired of it. Because the manifestation of ignorance takes such low energy to be ignorant. And to believe in ignorance, it takes even lesser energy. I'm trying to shoot, I ain't even trying. I am living my life from a spiritual hierarchy, and I gives not two damns if people don't like it. I don't care. And I don't mistreat people, and I'm not out here cursing everybody out, and I'm not out here making the heathens feel like heathens all day long. That's not what I'm doing either. I'm not out here bringing forth wickedry and negative energy either. I keep my energy high, I keep my frequency high, and I buzz right through it. Bzzz. I don't skip a beat. All praises to the Most High. All praises. Because I don't know matter of fact, I do know, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It would be tough goings right now on me if I would not be in the place that I am today, able to do the things that I'm doing, in positions that I'm in today, if it was not for the Father putting the wood to me earlier on in my life, bringing me off my high horse early on in my life, making me learn a lot of life lessons earlier on in my life. Because I feel like I've lived like 4 different lives. Before 10, after 10. So 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 55 lives I've already lived. I'm going on 6 lives, going into my 60. And I'm going, you know what? I feel good other than this vid that I was stricken with. But other than that, I feel good. I feel like I'm learning things and things is moving and my fruits are not rotten. So you know what? All praise to the Most High every day. Why not? I see these Cracker Jacks and these blackface and white lies and white minds ain't giving me nothing. Ain't doing nothing for me. But trying to bring ignorance to me. So I'm going to switch gears real quick. Because, I know y'all ain't heard me in a minute, you know what I'm saying? And, I've been jet setting, and let me tell you, it ain't been nothing nice. It has been nice, but, that flight is, and it's funny. We went the land route, which is up through Greenland, Scandinavia, Greenland to Dublin. Okay, so we went that way, 12 hours. On the way back, we went through Madrid and straight across from Madrid to Charlotte. Okay, so that was 8 hours. All right. So the whole trip, because then there was another 4 to Germany, so the whole trip was 12 hours. All right. But it was just interesting. You can see the map, and it was interesting the way we went, and I was like, wow, that's, we're over land, but we're flying in the airport in an airplane, which, mind you, a big old Airbus, maybe a carrier, and then this just goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I just gonna say this. An airplane, the biggest airplane's carrying, let's just say not even that. Let's just say 150 people. And yeah, these ships, these massive ships, I don't see them going straight through the Atlantic Ocean now. I see that you fly into the Mediterranean and then cruising around the Mediterranean, or I see you taking a cruise ship from Florida to the Caribbean, or Florida to the Gulf of Mexico via land or via the coast. I don't see nobody getting on a ship. On a what's it called? On one of them Disney ships or the Norwegian ships or whatever the name, these big old carnival ships, and going straight from Charleston, South Carolina, straight across to Ghana. I don't see nobody doing that. You would think that That shit would be easy to do. They did it. They've been doing. They would have been. They'd have mapped that out real simple because they went from Ghana to the America to Ghana to Charleston. I mean, that shit should be easy, right? That should be real easy. But I don't see that happening. Not today in this 2024. You don't see none of that happening. And they fly over the Atlantic in big planes, massive planes with a lot of fuel. 40,000 feet in the air. Not on the sea. And they had no planes pre-1492. So, I mean, again, these are just things to think about, to cogitate, to coagulate. All right. Now, this is to our brothers and sisters. This is to the nation of Israel, the whole house thereof. Those with an ear to hear, listen up. Those with eyes to see, read for yourself. 2 Corinthians 6. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of God in vain. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. But in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of God, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you, our heart is enlarged. Ye are not straitened in us, but ye are straitened in your own bowels. Now, for a recompense in the same I speak, as unto my children, be ye also enlarged. Be ye not unequally yoked, together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God, as God hath said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. Selah. This is where we at. We no longer are bringing our worries and cares to this world. This world is fallen. This world is fallen. Oh, Babylon is fallen. It's fallen. Believe what you want. Believe what you may. Babylon is falling. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory, Revelations 18. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornications and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off from the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments of frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust off their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein which made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, a great burden, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found no more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by their sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. So 2 Corinthians and Revelations 18 is telling us to come up out of her, telling us that there's the pain that's coming, telling us that, hey, the prophets will rejoice because this is our turn. This is our turn. And as long as we maintain our own disposition within this glorious exchange of situation that is upon us, and as we see it, we live it. As we live it, we see it. As we are one with one another, as our collective consciousness becomes greater and greater, Babylon falls. Babylon falls. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's why I started off the way I started, because brothers and sisters, heathens and Gentiles, if you don't know by now, you will never know. It is time for you to know. And the only people that you will know from are the people in the know. There are many people out here that say they know, but they do not know. There are many people out here that don't want to know. There are very few people out here that know and want to know. You're listening to one now. And there's many, many, many others, many of the few. We're not out here trying to coerce you. We're not out here trying to make you blue. We're not out here to make you part of our few. We're not out here to do that. We're out here to arm you with the word of the Father. That's it. Because there's going to come a time shortly, I said this a while ago and I'll say it again, the fourth quarter of 2024 is going to be the most bumpiest ride that there has that ever there was for America. The fourth quarter. That's what you see that's why all this consternation is afoot. That's why these people out here struggling. That's why now the political the political go-kart is fast on the track now. Everybody trying to tell us we need to vote, we need to do this. This is what this is about, because they know come the fourth quarter, in order for them to maintain their position, they need our energy. And our energy comes with our actions. Our actions comes with us voting. They don't care about the black face with the white minds vote, because their energy is the same energy as theirs. It's not a buzz. It's not a crackle. It's not a pop. This is not the same energy that you have coming from us, the same zeal. It's a different zeal. And this is why right now we are at the stage of the precipice of the beginning of the end for Babylon, and our beginning of the rise of the whole house of Israel. I mean, I've been watching eyebrow girl on TikTok. Every so often she'll show up, and she got like 2 likes, 4 likes, and 2 comments. And the thing is we give life to these people. So when we go into the comment section and start having a conversation, that gives them life. Like we are life. They are dead. When we approach them, we bring life to them because we are alive. Our energies coagulate and begin to be one. So that's why when we are truly in our spirit, truly in the zeal of the Father, when we cry out to the Father, when we want to manifest for the Father, everything changes. That's what's happening now. Everything's changed overnight, just like that. That's why they want you to vote. That's why they need us to vote. And that's why we won't. because we're smarter than them. If we allow ourselves to go back into Babylon, we will be partakers of her sins. Her sins are not necessarily going to just be the plagues. It's going to be a mental illness, a dysfunction. Can't you see? It doesn't matter who wins this election. There will be multiple losers. The psychosis of this whole conniption is going to be great. They're going to be looking for us to help them with their mistake. And whether the Father allows us to pick them up or not will be what He chooses. What He chooses. So I gotta take my meds, family, but I'm gonna go out with this, and then next week when I'm feeling a little bit stronger, I'll stay a little longer. But here we go. Here we go. Hebrews 10. For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things that can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year, continually make the comers thereunto perfect. Let's read that again. For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never with those sacrifices which they offered year by year continually make the comers thereunto perfect. Okay? For then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshipers, once purged, should have had no more conscience of sins. But in those sacrifices there is a remembrance again, made of sins every year. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and goats should take away sins. Wherefore when he cometh into the world, he saith, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me. In burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin thou hast had no pleasure. Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me, to do thy will, O God. Above when he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offering for sin thou wouldest not, neither hast pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second, by the which will we are sacrificed. We are sanctified. By the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Yahushua once for all. And every priest standeth daily ministering and offering oftentimes the same sacrifices, which can never take away sins. This is what's happening today. Everybody's trying to take away something or give something to be a sacrifice so that they can continue in Babylon. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God, from henceforth expecting till his enemies be made his footstool. For by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified. That's us. Whereof the Holy Spirit also is a witness to us. That's right. For after that he has said before, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith Yahushua. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them. And their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. Now, where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin. However, having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holiest by the blood of Yahushua, by a new and living way, which he hath consecrated with us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh. And having and having an high priest over the house of God. Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience, and our bodies washed with pure water. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, we are being purged, we are being purified, we are being sanctified. That's what he said. He said to us, he even Jubilees 15:32, where he's telling us that he put principalities over all the other nations, but over Israel he did not. He is our Elohim. And he did that so that we can be sanctified. This is what we're doing. This is what, if you don't understand nothing about nothing, know that you have to be sanctified. This ain't Christianity. I was sanctified and highly. No, this ain't that. No. Sanctification comes by way of the Father, through Yahweh Shai, with the comfort of the Holy Spirit, to be able to arrest all of sin out of us. That's what this is about. We have to go through so much to be purified, to be sanctified. We can't just think that we just going to just get it just by default. That's why I keep saying, what is your fruits? Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Of how much sore punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who hath trodden under foot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and he hath and hath done despite unto the Spirit of grace. This is the black face with the white mind. This is those people who want to give away their inheritance. This is our land. Why? Why would you give that away? For we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, saith the Lord. And again, Yahweh Shai shall judge his people. Define them. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. But call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions, partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used. For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyful the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence. This is where we are now. Cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. For ye have need of patience. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. Now the just shall live by faith. We have faith that justice is coming. Justice is here. But if any man draw back, if any man go back into Babylon, if any man love Africa and not his inheritance, if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. Selah. Hold on. There's so much. There's so much. Father had me write down so much. The nations do not see that we have become the highest scholars in research and wisdom. They think we just picked up a book yesterday and just learned how to read the day before yesterday. They do not know who they are messing with. They do not know whose sons and daughters we truly are. Shoot, some of our people don't even know it. A Hebrew makes a Hebrew, and such a person is called a convert. The Gospel of Philip. A convert does not make a convert. Some people are as they are and make others like them, while others simply are. Hey, 83, your masquerade is over, as you will never be black enough for us. Never. You will never be black enough for us. We're going to go out with some George Benson. Shalom, family. The whole world masquerading as us, and some of us masquerading as them. Shalom, great nation.
Are we really happy here with this lonely game we play? Looking for words to say, searching but not finding understanding anywhere. We're all in a masquerade. Both afraid to say we're just too far away from being close together from the start. We tried to talk it over, but the words got in the way. We're lost inside this lonely game we play. Hearts are weeping, disappointed. time I see your eyes, no matter how hard I try to understand the reasons that we carry on this way. Lost in a masquerade. This glory game we play, thoughts of weeping disappear every time I see your face. No matter how hard I try to understand the reasons why we carry on this way. We're lost in a masquerade. Oh, in a masquerade.